Hello, fellow Lasallians. It is always a great joy for me to connect with you, especially during this time for social or physical distancing. What brings us together is our being Lasallians here in East Asia. Over the past several months, I have been thinking a lot about what has gone viral in social media. That in this pandemic, we are actually in the same storm, but not necessarily in the same boat. If you could join us in this webinar, you could verily say that you are in a big boat. You have the luxury of time to actually think about things beyond ourselves, to muse about other stuff that ordinary people may not have the time or the luxury to mull about. If we are in a big boat, the perspective is very different. We will always think that things are as we see them from the big boat. Someone said that it may be time to look into how people in tiny little boats feel. Can they survive? What are their thoughts? What are their prayers? Lasallians gather around a common mission. We can choose to gather around a common mission in a big, stable boat and wait for the storm to simply pass by. But when we look at the history of our institute, the most critical moments that have defined who we are as Lasallians happened during those times when De La Salle, the early brothers, and the Lasallians who followed after them chose to see things from the perspective of tiny little boats. Fellow Lasallians, during this time of the pandemic, I wish to share with you the message that I shared during the Feast of the Founder, May 15 this month. It may be worth reflecting on once more. Ask ourselves, do we dare?
In the name of the brothers of East Asia, I share with you, our Lasallians and all Lasallian friends, our fraternal greetings of peace and well-being. Dear friends, we are in the middle of a furious storm, a global pandemic that has adversely affected and continues to threaten every family and community in the world. As has been pointed out many times, we are all in the same storm, so great that our very lives are at stake, but indeed not in the same boat. Damien Barr says, we are in the same storm, but not in the same boat. Your ship can be shipwrecked and mine might not be, or vice versa. Father Zambrini in Rome describes our reality today. Anyone with a home, an income, and food are on a big boat. And while we may get a bit seasick and be forced to change our daily routine during the storm, we don't fear that we are going to die, or maybe not just yet. But other people are in tiny little boats. Friends, it is only when we are able to share the fears and anxieties of people in tiny little boats, not just out of a sense of pity, but with a deep connection of true solidarity with those who are poor and most vulnerable, then we can cry out with them, "Lord, save us. We are going to drown." John Baptist de La Salle, more than 340 years ago, chose to see things from the perspective of the children of the artisans and the poor, who were in tiny little boats. He, together with the first band of brothers, had to make that audacious move to transfer from the big family mansion to a smaller rented house in order to begin their journey of conversion. Somewhere along that road, they experienced the same poverty and vulnerability of the children entrusted to their care. This is the enduring lesson in the life of John Baptist de La Salle. When we encounter God's little children, we will surely encounter God. It was only when they were walking with them and sharing their stories that the brothers' eyes were opened to the gift of community and that profound experience that the Lord is present. The Lord is present even in their darkest hours. Today, on the feast of our founder, we fervently pray that we of little faith would find much comfort in remembering always that we are in God's most holy presence. With Him, we will be safe and secure. Friends, our schools are closed, our churches are silent, our streets are empty. It will take a while before we will see the end of this journey, if it will ever end. The pandemic has already disrupted our lives and the lives of everyone in the world. But we also, if we were to look at this recreation, must see ourselves as active participants in God's recreation of the world. The post-COVID era calls on every Lasallian to start our journey with the same spirit of faith that we are always in God's holy presence. It challenges all of us to walk in the same spirit of service that moved Lasallians of every age to do all our actions for the love of God and of our neighbor. COVID-19 moves us even more urgently to share that deep communion with all those who are poor and vulnerable, because we are in the same storm, and we choose to stand in solidarity with those in the tiny little boats. This time of COVID-19 is a teachable moment, and there is one enduring lesson. Our health and well-being and that of the whole world can only happen if we can see the recreation of our world from the eyes of those who are in tiny little boats. May the Founders' Feast today spark a new conversion in the hearts of all Lasallians in East Asia. Happy Feast Day, beloved brothers and Lasallians.